Alright, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this, which is a custom cassette tape of yesterday and today, with a cool feature being that you can actually peel back the cover and see the butcher cover underneath, just like the original vinyl. So let's get into how you're going to go about making this cassette tape. First step is you're going to need to find a cassette tape. Now, if you don't own any cassette tapes, you can find them on eBay for really, really cheap. You can find them on Amazon. I will link some in the description, places you can find them. I found these at a garage sale. These are somebody recorded, but these are re-recordable. But you're really going to need the cassette tape case. Now, if you've never seen one of these things, it's a two-piece case. This right here is where you put your tape, and this right here is what holds it in, and this is where we're going to put our cover. So let's get on to designing the cover. Now, this cover is fairly simple. It has the album cover on top, and it has the track listing on the bottom. On the side is the album name and the artist, and here is another track listing, which, when it's all folded up in the case, sits right here. The website we're using to make it, it's called unixispower.gitlab.io jcard template. And this lets you change the numbers of stuff. So I can change here. I can change this to say yesterday and oh crap, I wasn't typing it. Yesterday and today. If we go back up here, this is what it's actually going to look like. You can see it change that. You can also upload a file to here, which will be very important in a minute. Pretend I've filled in everything, like the title, the artist, and all the songs I want. This is where you'd write that for A and B. The most important part is choosing the album cover. Now, you want to go to like the Wikipedia page and just download this image, which is the butcher cover. You want to go here, hit choose file, go to downloads, the Beatles butcher cover. I'm borrowing this PC, by the way, so don't mind anything on here. And this is what it should look like. You should have your album cover right here. If you want to change the overall card color, what I did is I just eyedroppered there to match that, and then I just kept the text black. If you want a mono one, you can change that up, but I don't think it matters too much. And this is step one. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to these dots and go down to print. And you're going to want to print this out on a printer. You can go to a store if you don't own a printer. I own a printer, and you're going to want to use cardstock paper for this. Only for this one. It's very important that you use cardstock for this. Then what you're going to want to do is, the second step is to go back to the Wikipedia page and grab and click on this. And you're going to want to download this image here. This is the alternative cover for the album, which, if you've ever seen one of these in the store, maybe in an antique store or a thrift store, this is probably the cover it has on it. So then you're just going to want to choose file again and change it over to this one. And print this out so you'll have two. But be very important, print this one on computer paper, thin computer paper. The thinner the better, really. So the butcher cover should be on cardstock and the trunk cover should be on computer paper. I'll show you what it looks like with those two printed out. This is what it should look like printed out, and remember, I'm using thick card here, or thick paper. Now, this isn't folded yet, but it is cut out. It comes pre-sized to a cassette tape. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take some scissors, and you see wherever these black lines are, that's kind of where you're gonna line up your cuts at. Make sure you're not cutting through the album cover at all, because we want to preserve that. But try and get as close to it as possible. Remember, you can always cut more off. It's hard to cut things back on. You just want to get as close to the edges as possible. That's what it should look like. Now what you're going to do is see these black lines here? You're going to want to get a ruler and you're going to want to fold along those lines like this. Fold it over forward, and then once that's creased, fold it backwards like that. One more fold. Fold it over and fold it back. Make sure everything lines up and you should be good to go. Next, you're going to want to grab your cassette case and just make sure that it fits together nice. It should fit in there pretty easily. If it doesn't fit in there easily enough, then you want to grab your scissors and just make a couple more adjustments. Usually I find that they can be pretty good fitting. It shouldn't fall out or hang out on any edges, and it should look like this. If that happens, just grab a little bit of tape and push it up in the corner there. I'll show you what to do next. You're going to have to cut out 2 albums. Make sure one of them has what we call the trunk cover on it. And just do a rough cut around the outside. You can cut through the gray part. Just keep that white album cover. That's all we want. That's all we need. So just that. Next, just get as close as you can to the edge and cut that. So you should be left with a little square of paper. Like that. Next, grab a glue stick. What you're going to want to do is get a flat surface and apply glue to half of the photograph, but do it very lightly. This will be important. Just get the glue on there and put it on lightly. You should stop at about George Harrison, so Ringo should be exposed. Next, take this and just make sure that you cover up the butcher cover with this new picture. Line up your edges, take your time. The more time you take, the better it'll look. Quickly doing it, it should look something like that. Now you can see a little bit of black peeking through. That's the effect we're going for. Now, let it dry for about 10 minutes, and you're all done, basically. That's all done on the arts and crafts side. Once you have this, you can peel back this part, and you can see a partial butcher cover underneath. Or you can invite your friends over and rip it off to show the butcher cover underneath. What's important is it looks like an original vinyl, just on cassette. Grab your cassette case, put it in, close it up, and enjoy your new little cassette case. Now, this next step is only for people who want to go the extra mile, so I'll show you what to do next. If you just want a case that looks cool, this is where you can stop. If you want to go the extra mile, here's what you can do next to really make this shine. To take this project home, you're going to need one of these. This is a cassette deck. You put your tapes in here and you can either record or play them. I found this one at Goodwill for about $30. It works beautifully and records nicely. Head to the back of whatever cassette player you're using, and you should see 2 spots to plug in a cable. You're going to need this cable. It's an RCA red and white cable on one side, and an auxiliary cable on the other side. Take the red and white ends and plug them into the corresponding colored holes. Plug red into red and plug white into white. Make sure that you're plugging them into the RCA in, not the RCA out. Just go to the side of your computer and plug this into the headphone out port. If it comes up with this, select headphones and then select over ear. To your streaming service of choice and search for the US album set. Scroll down the set until you reach a song called Drive My Car, and it should have the butcher cover or the trunk cover as the little album cover. Here's the album right here. You can pick mono or stereo. I prefer mono because it has the edge in mixing quality and it sounds better on stereos. That might sound crazy, but sometimes the drums can be in one speaker and the vocals in another, which is really unsettling. Open up your cassette player and get out a tape. Assuming you bought a cassette tape online that's recordable, here's where you can put that to the ultimate test. Put this in, set your recording input level to a reasonable volume, make sure it's rewound all the way, hit record and play, and wait a couple seconds until you see the edge of that reel turn black. Now hit play on the album and let the album play all the way through. Now you're recording the album to a cassette tape. Enjoy. Is when someone says, "That's a cool cassette tape," you can show them that just by grabbing the corner and peeling with a little bit of force, that there was a whole different album cover under there all along. Enjoy.